Quaid Azam, Part 203. The other question, whether the Congress ought to accept office or not, then came to a head. This demand in early resolution, the central issue here was the possibility of the using special powers of the governors. Congress leaders, under instructions from All India Committee, demanded an undertaking that a governor would not use these special powers vested in him by Section 93 of the Government of India Act 1935. This was a very difficult call, and as no such undertaking was forthcoming, the Congress refused accepting office. For Viceroy Linlithgow, this was an early setback. Meanwhile, in provinces where the Congress did not have majorities, the formation of the ministries went uninterruptedly ahead. By March 1937, Gandhi was now beginning to get uneasy, wondering if the Congress had got trapped in a blind alley of its own making. He therefore advised the Congress to work out a formula for negotiating options with the governors. In other words, possible escape clauses. Seeing this impasse, the Congress' own making, Sayyid Wazir Hasan, who had been president of the last session of the Muslim League, issued a statement that as forming minority ministries would not be legal, the government ought to take course on Section 93 of the Government of India Act. Linlithgow had no intention of doing so, for he did not wish to give Congress their badly needed escape clause, and that too, though a British imposed Section 93 governor's rule. Elections to provinces as per Government of India Act 1935. I beg your pardon, I don't know what has happened to my throat. Elections to provinces as per Government of India Act 1935 having been concluded, next on the reforms list came the question of federation. On this front, proposals about the princely states generated apprehensions amongst them. However, the 5 years between the first round table conference of 1930 and the passing of the Act, the princes had perceptibly changed their attitudes, dropping more of their initial approval of the idea and now stressing more for their autonomy. Objections also got voiced to any infringement of their domestic sovereignty which the Act necessarily entailed. They questioned even the minimum powers which would be required within the Indian states by the proposed federal authorities. They put the view that the princes' adherence to the federation would in effect constitute with the British government a bilateral agreement between the allies and the equals, and although the Secretary of State firmly rejected this claim, it was clear that the princes had concerns about sovereign status and the precise nature of British paramountcy over them. This was bound to be a slow and involved process. It was not until early 1939 that the Linlithgow was able to formulate the terms on which the adherence of the princes to the Act was acceptable. For one, the Congress supported Praja Prashad agitations in some of the states. Some of the states had intensified. For another, some of the larger states whose accession to federation was vital were now showing increasing anxiety about the future of their revenues to the federal treasury. Lord Lothian, who had arrived in India in November 1937 on a kind of reconnaissance mission, reported that Nehru was determinedly opposed to the idea, as he just could not contemplate the responsibility of forming a government at the center where most of the center's revenue would be reserved for defense. leaving no money for carrying out reforms to which Nehru had committed the Congress.